Hey y'all, we kind of doing a double duty here in the kitchen today. Michael's down there making him some tuna fish.
Hey y'all.
He is on that keto diet. Is that what it's called, Michael?
Yeah.
And I mean, when that man makes up his mind to diet, he diets. I couldn't even get a speck of a cookie in his mouth once he makes up his mind. I've never seen anybody that had willpower like him. I wish I had just part of his willpower. But listen, Michael, I'm sharing with everybody my take on French onion soup. Now, can you eat that on your keto diet if I don't put the bread and the cheese? I mean, just the...
Yeah, I can eat.
Good.
With no bread.
Oh no, I won't put the wonderful French bread on top of yours. I'll eat your part. All right, so I'm slicing the last onion, y'all. And my original recipe called for 8 onions, but this onion is the smallest of all of them. I've already done 3 huge onions. I started with 1/3 of a cup of olive oil. And so there are our 4 large onions. So I've got these on, I've got them on medium right now, but I'm gonna turn them up just a little bit and let them get hot. But for us to get these to the right stage, it's probably gonna take 45 minutes, Eddie, to actually candy those onions or caramelize them. It's a proper word. So, you know, this really is easy to make. French onion soup is real easy to make. This is the longest part right here, is doing the glazing of the onions. So I'll be back in about 45 minutes, and this is gonna come together real quick, because I really do want to show you all the twists that I do on French onion soup, and I think it's pretty good. So this has been cooking. These onions have been cooking about 30 minutes. So, you know, it could take close to an hour to get these caramelized. So this is what it looks like after 30 minutes. So I'll see y'all in 15, 20, 30 minutes. And I'm gonna put the lid back on it, hoping that, you know, it'll caramelize a little quicker. Y'all, I have been caramelizing onions since 2.5 hours ago. I keep cutting them on, cutting them off, cutting them down, cutting them up. And they're just now starting to caramelize. Now starting to brown. And I'm gonna turn them back up for a minute, but I'm gonna have to watch them close. All right, so I'll show y'all what I'm doing up here. I've got 2 small filet mignons. So I just, you know, I'm a, what am I, a
Carnival.
Well, a carnival too, but carnivore?
Yeah, carnivore.
That's what I am, y'all. I like my meat. And to me, French onion soup just needs a little bitty bite of meat to it. So I am cutting these fillets up into little bitty tidbits. So at the bottom of your bowl, you're gonna have this sweet little tender meat floating around the bottom. And I don't want big chunks, I just want little small pieces. So that was 2 little tiny fillets. But it sure did make a lot of meat, didn't it, Eddie?
Yeah. I think this was one of the first things you ever actually made for me.
Really?
When I first started working for you. Yeah. I remember we were talking about, we were at a restaurant about I had French onion soup, and so like the very next day you said, I'm gonna make you some French onion soup.
Yes.
And we had, I think, leftover short ribs, so you made it up.
Oh, I made it with oh my gosh, it was good, wasn't it?
It was so good.
All right, now y'all, to my onions, once they started really getting cooked down, I added a half a teaspoon of dry thyme and 2 kind of small bay leaves. And now I'm gonna put our meat in there, and I'm probably gonna turn this up. Yeah, I'm gonna turn it back up a little bit and just kind of sear that meat. In fact, I'm gonna turn it all the way on high. See, there were tiny little bay leaves, so there's one right there. That's a bigger one. I'll go ahead and take it out. So you can see this is gonna be pretty rich. And my original recipe, y'all, called for eight onions, but I used 4 because they were like huge onions. So before it's over, I might have wished I'd used 8, but I don't think so, Eddie.
That beef is gonna add something to it.
Yes, it does. It just, to me, makes all the difference in the world. And I've never had it with meat in it except here at our house, so I don't know if anybody else, has ever done that. Surely they have. All right, now I'm gonna deglaze our pot, and I'm gonna add 1/4 of a cup of red wine, but my recipe actually calls for white. But I'm gonna let that get all in there and make sure we get all those little chips of onions and beef. It's kind of stuck to the bottom of our pan. Yeah. Me. All right, I'm gonna get my flour out, Eddie, and I'm gonna use Wondra because I know that won't let my soup lump. And after that wine cooks out, it's cooked out pretty good. So I'm gonna add like 2 tablespoons of my Wondra. And we just want to use enough, for it to kind of tighten our soup just a little bit. All right, so I've got 8 cups of beef stock. And we're gonna let this just kind of simmer, between simmer and medium, and we're gonna let this cook and let all those flavors get in it. So like I said, about 20 minutes, and then I'm gonna taste it and check it for salt and pepper. And after my onions got to cooking, I added like 2 cloves of garlic, minced garlic. And I think that was it. Let me check. I don't want to tell y'all wrong. Yes, I started with a little olive oil, but I really prefer butter. I don't know why I didn't use butter. I think the butter browns the onions a little bit better. So, yeah, that was it. That's what I put in there. The dried thyme, the bay leaf, and let those caramelize. Look how rich that stock looks, Eddie.
Yes, it smells
You
so
see it?
wonderful too.
I'm glad we didn't use but 4 onions. Look at that. Yummy. You know what? I think I'm gonna go ahead and taste it now, Eddie, because I don't know right now if it needs salt. I know doesn't have any pepper in it, so definitely needs some salt. Okay, so for 20 minutes, we're gonna let that simmer, and then I'm gonna bowl it up and we're gonna put it in the oven with all that Gruyere cheese and that French bread on top. It's gonna be so good. Okay, y'all, at last our French onion soup is ready. I've toasted off our bread so it's nice and crisp to go on top of our soup. And let's see. You wanna come over here, Eddie, and let them see? Now, I did wind up adding more beef stock to it, y'all. And then you have to salt and pepper it once you get everything put together. Make sure it's got enough seasonings. So, you know what? I don't like that piece of onion, Eddie. That looked like kind of might be the skin, so. And I want to get down in there and make sure you have, because I'm dipping this up for Eddie's supper, y'all. It's taking that long.
I'll take it.
Yes. Look at that. Oh.
Well, this has been kind of an all-day project. You took some breaks then.
I did. I took a lot of breaks doing this. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to put this on our pan, Eddie. And I'm going to drop our French bread on top. And then I grated Gruyere cheese. Now you can actually use any kind of cheese you want, but we kind of like Gruyere around here. So I'm gonna run this under the broiler. I wanna make sure it's enough cheese. Gruyere has a little stink to it, doesn't it? A little bit of odor. Michael, remember when we went to Paris and they served us those awful cheese plates that I'm sure the French people just die to have. Oh, it was so stinky, wasn't it?
Yeah, I could imagine.
Okay, so under the broiler this goes, and we'll want to keep a close eye on it, y'all. You know, when you're broiling, you always leave your door cracked. You don't shut it all the way because broil is so hot. Hot, hot, hot. So I'm gonna keep a close eye on it. Okay. There's your supper. Looks pretty good, doesn't it?
Sure does.
It's all yours. All yours. So why don't you give me your phone and us change places.
Ooh, it's hot.
It is hot.
Well, I can't eat it. It's.
I know. Can you wait? Don't burn yourself because it is hot. Just blow. Blow, blow, blow.
That is a great flavor.
Oh,
That
good.
is.
So you're not saying that just for the camera, are you?
No,
Okay.
not at all. It is so rich.
It is rich, you know, by adding those couple little flamay.
Flamets.
Yes, those filet mignons really made it quite rich.
All right, well, I'm going to take this to the table and be by myself.
Okay. Bon appetit, Eddie. Bye-bye. Hey, y'all, it's Paula Deen. Now, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it and click the subscribe button as well as the notification bell to be alerted when I post a video. Love and best dishes, y'all.